Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you a really cool and a really hilarious way to optimize your loot per hour from Expedition Logbooks. So for those of you who don't watch my stream, I'm currently in the process of undertaking a very large series of tests to determine exactly how much currency can be derived from logbook farming per hour and what strategies need to be used in order to get there. I've gotten to approximately 5.5x per hour, which I'm really happy with. That can be done in low item level areas as well, which means that this strategy is accessible to everyone, casual players and, pro players, which I'm also really happy about because most of my audience is comprised of people who can't really afford to be doing item level 83 logbooks since they just don't have characters strong enough for it. That said, I've had to start segmenting this video because I'm about 60 takes into the video at this point, and I just keep cracking up every time I talk about the strategy I'm about to show you. All the other information is probably going to go into other videos. I'm going to likely do a whole series on it, but what we're going to cover in today's video is basically the way that most of you guys are going to save a vast amount of time and money by running your logbooks in under 10 minutes as opposed to the 20 minutes I know a lot of you guys are already spending in there. So I call this strategy the MSPaint Strat. It involves using MSPaint, and that is not a joke. MSPaint is now how you optimize currency per hour in Path of Exile. Now, when you look at this map, you have a lot of interesting things on it, but there are also a lot of things that you aren't aware of from just looking at this map. There are a lot of modifiers, such as the one we have right here, that says runic monsters have a 20% chance to drop an additional essence. Now, if you were going to plan your route along the scrublands, you would really want to know where all of these are. These modifiers apply to not only the chests and the monsters that they're blowing up in that same explosion, but also to all the subsequent explosions. That means that stacking up as many of these modifiers as early as possible is really good for starting to generate a really large chain of multipliers that applies to all the later boxes and all the later mobs that you're killing, which is where you're going to get the bulk of your loot. Now, this differs from area to area, and there are some modifiers, such as this one, that I don't really consider important, but even if it was important, it would be very hard to sort of figure out at a glance where everything is. So what we're going to do is start off by taking a screenshot of our screen. We're then going to open Microsoft Paint, and we're going to paste, and we're going to zoom all the way in. So once we're zoomed in, just hover it over the screen, and we're now going to make a loop around and mark down all the points of interest on the map that can't be figured out from the loot icons themselves. So I usually come out to the right and then go counterclockwise. You can do it however else you want. This is just a strategy I've become comfortable doing. So quantity of artifacts is something that we really care about. A lot of the profit from this comes from artifacts. I'm going to cover that in a video on a separate day, but basically it's going to mark that one out. Runic monsters have a 50% chance to drop corrupted items. We don't care about that. Additional currency items. So currently we are over here. We're going to mark that red. Quantity of artifacts in excavated chests. We are going to mark this one here. And we're going to come up here. Quantity of items. We don't really care so much about that one. Rarity. We don't care about that one. Additional stack decks. We do care about that one. I'm just going to move along here. Looking for all the remnants. Additional essences, we don't really care that much about that. Additional unique item, quantity of artifacts, so this one we do care about. We'll mark that. Now obviously this is a point of interest, you don't want to forget about this, although it's not required to mark it on the MS Paint. It's just something I do because I otherwise tend to forget that they exist. Pack size, we have another point of interest. Okay. Additional currency items and additional unique. So this is going to be our last point of interest. I'm just going to double check this one up here. I'm pretty sure I checked it already. Yeah, okay. So now you can do this in under 2 minutes, one loop of the entire map, and now you have a good idea of where all your multipliers are. Now in this case, our multipliers are all spread out, so there isn't a very optimal path, but something I can work out from here is that a lot of the really nice chests are over here. So this is probably along the lines of where I want to end my run. Additionally, this multiplier is kind of well out of the way. It's going to cost me quite a few of my explosions to get here, so I'm probably going to cut that out, and I might even cut this one out because this is also separated from everything else. So at a glance, what I think the optimal strategy here is going to come out here and collect all of these three, collect this currency one along the way, collect this point of interest, this currency one, come up here. I might come and get this harbinger thing, I might get this point of interest, and then I'm going to loop and sort of end up around here with the rest of my explosions. I'm just going to do this to sort of show you exactly what it looks like. So we'll grab this fossil one along the way. Where is our... Okay, we want to end up at this one. Additional currency items. We'll try and hit as many of the markers as we can along the way. Next one we're headed down to is this one over here. We'll position it over here so we can travel. Our next one is over here. Okay, we actually can't reach that, so we'll try and get these runic monster markers over here. We'll get that. We'll get this currency one and we'll position it as close to this part as possible so that we can travel all the way up here. I'm unable to hit the currency. Am I? Okay, here I can hit the currency one and the point of interest at the same time. No, I can't. Okay, we're not going to waste too much time. We're just going to grab that. We're going to grab that. We're going to come up here. Grab this one. Grab this one. Now, what other ones are important up here? Okay. So we're just getting what we come across now. Quantity of artifacts. Yep. We have 4 left. We're going to try and grab as many good ones as we can with this. Grab that one there, and then we're grabbing that one there. So as you can see, we actually planned out our path and then went and put everything down for the detonation really quickly. When I started doing these, I was very used to taking 10 to 15 minutes in order to try and optimize the loot. But once you start using the MSPaint method, you can get down this entire part of the logbook to approximately 3 minutes if you get good at it and once you get fluent. And you'll learn over time that once you start planning it out, it becomes easier to accept that you're not going to get every nice node. So we have to skip this Harbinger one, and there were 2 multipliers up here that we had to skip. But if you look at here, we're getting 50% quantity of artifacts from chests. We're getting 50% chance for additional currency items from chests. We're getting 50% currency chance from runic monsters, 20% essence chance, 20% unique chance. Those ones aren't very important. 50% quantity of artifacts from monsters, 25% pack size, and then 40% quant of items dropped from monsters. So these are a nice list of multipliers, and we ended up ending off where all the rewards were. This sort of thing would have honestly taken you about 7 to 10 minutes if not using the MSPaint Strat and not practicing. And so now I'll just detonate everything, and then you can sort of see the loot for yourself and how this plays out. Down here, of course. Now we're going to go down here. Something? No, that was a primal incubator. Don't really care about that one. Alright, and that was a run. So as you can see from this layout, this was kind of a really bad run. We didn't have very many points of interest on here. We had a run that was completely spread out. There weren't that many juicy nodes or anything, and once you start tallying up this currency, it adds up to around 40 C. You have around 28 C here, you have about another 8 C here, and I'm just going to call all of this 4 C to make it an even 40. We spent 15 C for this logbook, which means we made a profit of 25 C, and if we were going fast and I wasn't recording the video, it probably would have taken me around 7 to 8 minutes to run. You can extrapolate that into a per hour amount of profit, and it's not a very good amount. However, As you're going to see from the data that I released tomorrow, this is definitely on the low end. I think my average for low item level logbooks was approximately 70C per run, which means this was 30C under the average. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But, you know, it was a bad layout, bad area, all that sort of stuff. Most of them are a lot better than this. And the fact that you can still do this and make over 100% margin of profit means that, you know, you're never losing money. This is not one of those activities where you're investing an amount of money and then you're investing time and you may come out with less money at the end of it. This is something that you're always going to be making money. It's just a matter of how much money you're going to be making. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a full run from start to finish with the Paintbook Strat and then clearing it and picking everything up. And I'm just going to put that, you know, it's going to play next, so you can see what that looks like uninterrupted when I'm not talking, when I'm not focused on trying to explain what I'm doing and all that sort of stuff. But I would really, really highly recommend using this Paint Strat. It saves a lot of time, and it is literally going to translate to increased amounts of currency per hour. By not having to spend 20 minutes doing each one of these, you can fit 6 or 7 in per hour instead of like 3, and that's going to make a very large difference. These are profitable activities to do. And a lot of the money that you're currently losing when running these is the fact that you're taking way too long to do them. There are a lot of things to optimize about these, and that's going to come in future videos, but the very first thing you can do is figuring out a way to save as much time as possible, and that's what this video is about.